You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hi, this is Cindy Cochran. Welcome to the podcast of my show. Remember, you can join me live every weekday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on Lone Star Community Radio, on Conroe's FM 106.1 and 104.5, and globally on irlonestar.com. If you're a big fan of my podcast, subscribe to my YouTube and SoundCloud channels, and you're always invited to my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show. The Cindy Cochran Show is brought to you by our titled sponsor, the Wooten Financial Group. Call today for all your financial concerns, 936-449-5952. Good morning, everybody. It is all together now.
Friday!
Yay, it's Friday, and we're so happy that it is because you know what that means. It's going to be a great weekend, and we've got sunshine here. And it's been a while. I mean, people are just crazy because as soon as we had sun, there was like everybody was out at every place you can be outside in. And it's just been beautiful. And in Conroe, we were in the 60s this morning.
That's crazy.
62 this morning. So, but I'm telling you, I'm so happy for you to be listening to us. And I'm going to try to give you a really good show today. We always do. Always try and give you a good show. But what's so exciting to me is Jake the engineer is in the house, and I'm really happy about that.
Glad to be back. I missed it.
Oh, you did? Did you listen globally on the
I actually
internet?
did. I don't want to say torture, but I made my cousins. So I drove to New Orleans with 3 of my cousins, and I made all 3 of them listen. And yeah, they liked it.
Good. Is it when you were on?
No, not when.
Just
no.
whatever
was on. Well, no. I did a replay of your show, and then I did a replay of Nathan's show, and I said these are our 2 most popular shows for the most part.
That's right. Well, they're on the most. So.
Well, yeah, exactly.
By attrition, we get the most people listening.
The most love.
And watching and listening. And if you're just joining us on 106.1, we're happy to have you in Conroe. And if you're driving through Conroe, I always like to say 106.1 first because it is the Conroe area. And then as you go north on 45, then you get into Willis, New Waverly, and you go to 104.5. Because otherwise they think, I just lost the connection.
I guess that's why I say 104.5, because I'm from the north of Conroe.
Oh, that's right. You're near.
Well, I'm not all the way up to Huntsville. I'm in Cold Spring.
Can you pick up the?
No.
I was going to say I don't think it drifts.
I think
far.
I'm in San Jacinto County. I think that's where I technically live. I can't wait to get to Montgomery County because
you need to be in Montgomery. Montgomery is so cool. But I know that and I've told people it will drift into the woodlands, and probably at night it drifts even more. Isn't that funny that the signal does drift? It is. You can pick it up further than it's supposed to be.
Well, it's like anything else, like being on a freeway. It's less traffic.
That's true. That is good. That's a very good point. That is true. And so people that are just now joining us on FM, and you're just now listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, and maybe you've paused a minute as you're clicking through, and we hope you stay. But this show is a show that is it's about anything we want it to be. That's what's cool about it. It's the Cindy Cochran Show.
It's real.
Reality radio. Then, well, because we talk about real things, and there's no fake news here. It's only my opinion of the news. So if you want to think that's fake, that's okay. But so much stuff has been going on in the news, and I must report it as it stands, and not my opinion or what I think about it or what I feel about it. I have to do that. I have to have somebody on the other side of the table telling me what they think and what they feel and they're passionate about it. And then it's okay. But right now, I can tell you the hearing went on yesterday, the Comey hearing. Now, were you driving back from Louisiana yesterday?
Yeah, I drove back yesterday. So.
Oh, well, if you had it on NPR, you could have listened to the whole thing. What were you listening to?
I think I was listening to Pandora.
Okay.
I was by myself yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And so I just don't think that driving and listening to a hearing for 6 hours would have been the smart move.
Do you know, I loved so much that I went and got something to eat, and I ate. I brought it back out to the car and sat in the parking lot to listen to it, to be able to listen to it, because I didn't have my headsets to listen to it on my phone in there. So I came outside and I'm listening to this hearing, and I'm so man, when I get home, I have to like listen to where a part that it breaks, and then I could go in and turn it. I know it's on TV because Sam was listening to it. So, but speaking of Pandora's box, that's really kind of what that was yesterday, is because there were, there it opened up a lot to a lot of things, and the funniest thing though is if you've gone to a movie and looked at a movie, and you say to your friends, "Hey, did y'all see da da da?" And they go, "Oh, that was horrible." And you're thinking, you're getting ready to say, "That's the best movie I've ever seen. I loved every bit of it, and especially when they did this and when they did that." And you go, "Did we see the same movie? I don't get that." And so I think yesterday what happened was, if you were a Republican and you heard it through that filter, and if you were a Democrat, you heard it through that filter. But there were things that were undisputable that came out that everybody's going to have to deal with. And everybody's been just speculating, "Oh boy, we got him now. We've got Trump on the run. He's being investigated, and he's going to be told he's being investigated." And he's been telling everybody that this FBI director told him he wasn't, and all that. Well, that was put to rest because the FBI director said he was not being investigated. And he said, and you know what's disturbed me so much is that I would listen to these newscasts and these news anchors and people talking like it's a fact, and they were dead wrong about so many things. And so, all the Republicans were cheering like, "Yay, that's right. That's what we've been saying all along. It's because it's the news media that's out there." But he said that, and then the other thing that he talked about was his attorney general, his boss, in fact, tells him that he must call the Hillary Clinton thing that was going on not an investigation, but a matter. And so to say that, and that's how he needs to phrase it. Well, that really upset him and disturbed him, and seems like he's been disturbed and confused a lot during his tenure as FBI, and it was an interesting thing yesterday because everybody had their the questions ready for him, and then if he didn't answer them the right way, they just kept on and on about it. And then I thought, boy, this is going to be interesting to see how the news media breaks this down, because they've been breaking it down way before it even happened. And so when we got home and you heard everybody saying, if you watched, like, let's say you watched MSNBC, CNN, and whatever, that group of people were just saying, "We've got him now. I mean, I think it's time for impeachment. I think what he did was nothing compared to what Nixon did, and he needs to be impeached." And then you had the more conservative talks, like Fox, talking about, how vindicated now is the president because what he's been saying was right. So it was just very interesting. And if you don't watch the news, you don't know what happened. I think there was just some wins for everybody around the table that they could pick through, and that will be talked about for the rest. But the deal is, everybody wants Trump to get back on pace for doing things like the tax reform and health care and that kind of stuff. That's what they want. That's all they care about. I don't care about this Russian thing. Russia, Russia, Russia. Doesn't that remind you of Marsha, Marsha, Marsha? It just does. Every time I hear it.
Well, and that's the sad thing about this whole situation is, yeah, I understand that this is no, joking matter or, something that should just be looked over and not paid attention to. No, there's some serious implications here, but there's also more serious matters at hand.
You've got North Korea trying to put us in the crosshairs of their nuclear program. And so I think that's more important than Russia trying to influence our election. I think everybody needs to be aware that when they call and say, it is so good to talk to you. I want to talk to you about something that we want you to vote this way. We want you to vote that way. If somebody says something like that, just hang up the phone. That's all you need to do. It's so silly. And so the things that we really do have to worry about that are imminent are, places that are not in the country are like North Korea. Those guys that are trying so hard to figure out how to blow us up. And that's imminent. But also the healthcare thing, because Obamacare is getting ready to go away because all the carriers, all the people that were in it are out of it.
Yeah.
And the poor people that only have one carrier to go to is like, I've got to pay everything, and I'm paying more for my health care than my mortgage. This is ridiculous.
I'm getting ready to face that battle because I'm about to be dropped off of my parents' health care because my stepdad's switching companies, and to carry me over is going to be a hassle and everything like that. And I said, no, I'm an adult now. I got to get my own health care insurance. That's normal.
Right.
That's what adults do, right?
That's right.
And I've got to figure out. I've got basically 3 months to figure out what's going to happen with Obamacare, like exactly, and how long, and then what do I need to do to not have to pay an arm and a leg?
Okay, now one thing that happened through executive privilege, he signed and got rid of the mandate to have to pay a penalty. So you don't have to pay a penalty anymore if you're not insured by a certain time and all that stuff. So
wait, so as a healthy young 23-year-old, I don't have to buy insurance?
Well, you don't. There's not a mandate now where you have to have insurance. That's gone. And where you had to pay $2,000 as a penalty and all that, that's gone. And he took that away from the companies as well, because the companies were paying. They just go ahead and pay it because it was so outrageous how much they were just paying. And a lot of young people were just paying the penalty because they didn't want to get insurance. They just didn't want to. It was cheaper to pay that than to pay for the insurance.
For monthly insurance, yeah.
So that part is good. So anyway, okay, well, we've got to go to a break. I know you're so sad that we do, but we will be back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Sponsored.
Come back and help Jake figure out insurance.
Yeah. What's more fun, watching paint dry or talking about insurance? We'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show. And thank you to the Wooten Financial Group that is sponsoring this show and keeping it on the air. See ya.
Every week I get asked the same 2 questions. Am I ready to retire? Will my savings last for our lifetime? Hi, this is Chris Wooten with Wooten Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. If these 2 questions are on your mind, we'd like to help. We have a simple, introductory client experience that allows us to get to know you and includes a few meetings for you to kick the tires at no charge. We'll provide you with a 1-page summary that helps you get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for you. To take the first step to a clear direction for your retirement, call Wooten Financial at 936-449-5952. That's 936-449-5952. Or visit us on the web at wootenfinancial.com. That's WOOTTON financial.com. Get started today.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Now, we were talking about,
paint dry?
Jake's or Jake's insurance policy. He's got to get insurance. This is his first run at it. And Sam always took care of the insurance thing, because it was in his company. And now he's retired. And so you have to kind of look around. But that Jake is now looking for his first insurance. And he's a healthy guy. And this is what the big problem with Obamacare was predicated on, the fact that the young people, because they were mandated and they would be fined if they didn't do it, would buy into this and sign up. And so the carriers would be excited to have all these people signed up, and the money would be coming in. And they were the ones that were going to support all the older people that have, the pre-existing conditions and all that. But that money from the younger people was what they messed up on.
Well, because they wanted to make it to where, okay, look, this is going, it was supposed to be affordable, but the problem was it wasn't.
It wasn't.
And so young people were like, why would I make this investment every month when I don't use it? it doesn't make any sense. Now,
Exactly.
I understand. I was talking to Cindy in the breakout. I understand that if I don't have medical insurance and I break my leg, then I either have to pay for it out of my pocket, or the public is going to suffer essentially. And so, but I just don't see the incentive as a young, healthy male of why I would do it. So,
Right.
as a youth.
Well, that's why they did the mandate and they did the penalty. They didn't want to call it
But that's gone
a
now.
tax, but that's gone because they want people to be free to find the insurance that they can afford and that they want right now. Until this health care passes, now the health care passes that's coming out from the government will be trying to make this affordable. And one of the things that they were going to do was to make sure that we can now get healthcare providers across the state line, and we can get healthcare from them, which would cause the competition in the market, and now they would start, competing and lower cost instead of them being the only game in town,
Yeah.
which it was before. And so that's what the hope is, and what this way everybody can get insurance, and it won't be so costly that it will make you say, I'll just wait and go to the emergency room if I have to.
Because I want insurance because I am a klutz and a half. So
Are you?
I don't know why, but maybe it's because I was allergic to milk as a baby. But I have broken, I have broken 9 bones in my entire life. And
Wow, that's a lot.
yeah, so I've had multiple concussions. I've had a lot of trips to the emergency. Between me and my tool.
From sports?
Yeah, sports or just various other activities. Yeah, always on something with wheels most of the time. But between my 2 brothers and I, we were in the emergency room from the time we were 0 to 18, about 50 to 60 times between the 3 of us. So
I'd love to know is that has the trips to the emergency room for broken bones and that kind of stuff for activity, has it gone down since video games came out?
I don't know. I don't know, and I guess video games have been out for a long time. It's nothing new.
It's nothing new, but a lot of people now, it's so much more affordable, and everybody can play them, and
it's very or connective.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So, but no, I mean,
I
as
wonder.
a child, I was always outside. We had video games, but we were limited to what we could play.
There you go.
And so
There you go.
most of the time I was outside on a bike or a scooter, or playing sports and breaking bones. So
Well, I mean, if it was left up to Samuel, I think that he would stay right there and play. He watches YouTube. He watches a lot of the people that play games on YouTube. I went in there and went, wait a minute, I thought you wanted to play the video games. He goes, I am. And I goes, no, they're playing the video games, and you're watching them play the video games. What is this about? And he goes, I'm learning all the shortcuts and all that stuff. I'm learning. It makes me a better player to watch these videos. They're like training videos, Grandma. And I went, oh, my word. But Sam will make sure he goes outside. You need to be outside with your dog and play with that dog and get that dog, the exercise he needs. And you need the exercise as well. And so they go out. But it's so pitiful because we live on 5 acres. And you think, what, for a kid? 5 acres and some forest in the back to go back. But, and he went through that stage. He got through that. Now he's into, done that.
Through the elementary years, I mean, I was a 4-sport athlete. My little short white butt was playing basketball, and I loved it.
Were you?
And I played football, I played lacrosse, and I played baseball. So I was in a sport year-round and constantly. And then when I hit junior high, I wasn't good enough to play baseball, and I wasn't good enough to play basketball. So I stuck to lacrosse and football. And so I had spring and fall covered, and then I took my summers for slight training and other fun activities. And then when I got into high school, I focused solely on lacrosse. But I turned it from just a spring sport into a year-round sport. So video games were never that big in my life.
Because you had so much other stuff to do.
I was always a big, I guess you would call him a jock, but I'm too nice to be a jock.
But your mom, I wouldn't call her a soccer mom.
Oh, no.
But that she was taking y'all everywhere you needed to go.
My mom and dad, both of them.
Both of them did. Okay, so that's wonderful that you have that. But what's bad about living on these 5 acres? The neighborhood has no children in them, except when somebody's visiting their grandparents or somebody is, there's the divorce thing and the kids are over for that week. But they have no one to play with all the time, and that's what I miss about a neighborhood is so many kids. What I don't miss is the interaction with the parents because there's so many kids and you have to talk to the parents and the parents are mad at you because you did this or that or whatever.
There's
And
a lot of politics there.
oh, brother, there is. Oh my goodness.
If you ever come out to Katy and you go to like the Cinco Ranch area, it's a nightmare and a half how much they behind the scenes.
Yes. See, that still go. That has never ever stopped because I remember that. I remember that so well. All that happens inside of a neighborhood, and we lived in a neighborhood after I was married and started having the children. The children would play with the other kids, but it was they were from the Middle East. The neighbors. We had a lot of neighbors, and they were all family, and they all lived in this neighborhood.
Really?
And so it was funny. The kids would come over to play, but they could never spend the night. They could never spend the night at the house, and because the father, who was very upfront about it, he says, "I don't want them learning your ways." And I went, "You mean what am I doing wrong?" And he goes, "No, Western ways. We don't want them learning the Western ways." I said, "But you live in Texas." Do you not get what are you trying to keep them from learning about? And he says, but they can't marry, date, or anyone that is not,
and that's a common theme. I had actually, he wasn't our valedictorian. We tried to start a petition to get him to be our valedictorian. He was, he took all the same classes, made all the straight A's that all these other students, that our two other valedictorians were, but he had a life outside of academics, and he was a swimmer and competed at the state level, but that ended up hurting him because that's only a 4.0 class. That's here nor there. But he had no television through the 0 to 18 while living here, and he was never allowed to play video games. He was never allowed to sleep over anybody's house because of that lifestyle, and that's what they want. They want that control, and they want them to be raised not in the American way.
But what happens is that some of the children learned the American ways, because they were going to school with, why they should be going to private schools to keep from learning a lot of the stuff that the kids know in the public schools. But they learned this, and then when they finally got old enough to realize that they've been told, at 18 years old, you can be out of the house, you can vote, you can do all this kind of stuff, and because you're an American and you're free. And so they take that, and when they go to college, when they try and send them to college, you know what happens in college. I don't care where you're. When kids go to college, they kind of go crazy. They snap, and they have this. I got to get all this out of my system before I have to go back home and bring the dirty laundry to mom. So it's just, it's interesting. The people, we talk about, and we want people to assimilate. That's the problem that we have, because we feel like people that are coming from the Middle East or whatever never assimilate into our culture, and that makes it difficult. That really makes it difficult.
Well, but I think it's also one of the nice things about America, because we are such a melting pot, and we are so diverse. And growing up in Katy, we had just a diverse population in our high school, and I feel as though that helped us, where we didn't have the prejudice. The prejudice nature.
Right.
That, I think other schools and other areas of the country, they struggle with that sort of stuff.
No, that's exactly right. And I think that's what I love about talking to Samuel and Cindy, who have no idea that there's a difference except for skin color or something like that. But that's all, but everybody has different color hair. Everybody has different, they don't see any of that. They don't talk about it. They don't think about it. It's not part of their culture. And when Samuel got in trouble because this kid said, "Hey, this would be funny," and he takes the three. They were playing cards. There was a free time at school. It's their class, and they're playing cards. And he takes the three kings out, and he lays them on. He says, "Come here, what? This is going to be funny." And he lays the three kings out in front of this girl who's black. And Samuel said, what is it? What's so funny? And the girl went, got upset. And he said, she's not, doesn't think it's funny. What does it mean? And she asked the girl, what does this mean? She said, I'm going to go tell the teacher. So she went and told the teacher. And no one explained to him. And and he got in trouble, and the teacher called him outside, and she's just letting him have it. But he said, "But what did we do? What does that mean?" And nobody would. So he got home, and we did the whole '60s review.
Even when you told that story to me for the first time a couple weeks back, I didn't catch it right away either. I didn't
either. You know who I lived through all that stuff, and when she said they put the three kings in front of her, and I thought, you think Martin Luther King was offended? Was that offensive? Because I thought it was talking about Martin Luther King was what they were referencing, and she says no, the KKK, and I went, the KK, what? I said, Samuel, boy, and I turned to Samuel, and he was like, what's the KKK? And because we don't talk about it. It's not on their TV. It's not on their games or anything like that. So like they don't know. So we had to talk about it, and he figured it out. And the next day he went back, and the kid got mad because he wouldn't talk to him. And he says, I don't talk to kids that are racist. And he said, racist. And he goes up and tells the teacher, he just called me a racist. And so the teacher had to take Samuel out again. He says, you don't do that. You can't call me. Samuel says, I don't know what to do. This is so confusing. I don't understand.
You just sit and take notes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just keep your mouth shut.
Cindy, you know what that this past segment, what we would call that in the radio industry?
What?
A pinball segment where we hopped around many times.
That is what the Cindy Cochran Show is all about. That's exactly right. So it's great because people that are driving through, they're going to get us part of the segment.
A million miles a second.
We'll get you loaded down with information. Okay, you are listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio, and it's also the Fitbit for your ear because we talk so fast and do move. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Don't go away. You don't want to miss a thing.
Every week I get asked the same two questions. Am I ready to retire? Will my savings last for our lifetime? Hi, this is Chris Wooten with Wooten Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. If these two questions are on your mind, we'd like to help. We have a simple, introductory client experience that allows us to get to know you and includes a few meetings for you to kick the tires at no charge. We'll provide you with a one-page summary that helps you get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for you. To take the first step to a clear direction for your retirement, call Wooten Financial at 936-449-5952. That's 936-449-5952. Or visit us on the web at wootenfinancial.com. That's WOOTTON financial.com. Get started today.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. And if you were listening to Jake the engineer do his thing, and he talked about the full moon and his sister-in-law may be having a baby, and maybe during this time because of the rise of the tides or something. I don't know what happens. But the full moon, it is not a joke. It's not, just an urban legend or something like that. That when I worked for Channel 13 in the news department, I just started working in there, and I remember someone saying, it's full moon. We're going to have to put on more people on the phones. And I went, y'all are kidding, right? And he goes, no, full moon brings out the weirdest people in this city. And the strangest things happen during this time. And I went, no, that's for real? They said, for real. Don't know what causes that, but there's a change in everybody's mood when it's a full moon. And so, because that's when the werewolf would change from the man to the werewolf and all that. The full moon has had bad connotations.
Well, and I'm looking now, and it says on let's credit this, babycenter.com.
Yes.
So no, it is not true that more babies are born on full moons. Many maternity nurses and moms will swear that it is true, but scientific studies have been done that there's no increase in births or birth defects during a full moon.
Well, they probably will do the same thing, saying, no, there's not any more murders. There's not more people that snap during that time. But I'll tell you, if you talk to people in the news that have been working newsrooms, that's when they get all the calls. And it may be because people feel like the full moon is making me do this, and I'm going to give in to the pull that it has on me. And
the moon has a lot of power, a lot of control over this earth. So why wouldn't it have control over us?
Well, that's I guess that's the thing that God gave you is the freedom of choice. So you can choose whether you want to let that happen or
So you can choose when
not.
you give birth. All right, there
That's
we go.
No, that is one thing that he took away from except when if you want to go in and have it taken from you, that was so bad because the doctors would say, well, we're going to go ahead and induce this birth. And I went, oh, okay. I didn't find out later that it's because he had a golf game in Florida that weekend. And so that's why they did it. And I was like, was that right? But, a woman at the 9th month going through, and I went almost, well, the doctor said we must have just miscalculated because I went further than they're supposed to go. And I kept thinking, this baby will never come. I'll jump off a table flat-footed, but just let me have this baby.
Which child was this one?
This was Chad.
Chad, okay.
Yeah, and so he was the middle one. The first one, I didn't know what was going
it's
on.
those middle children. I'm
The
telling
middle
you,
children.
the middle child is the worst.
I'm a middle child. Watch
That
it.
explains
So
so much.
That's what I remember people telling you. Oh, you're the middle child. Oh, yeah. Well, that means but that's not true. My sister was perfect. I kept being compared to her, and it was she was a hard act to follow. That's all I can say. And so.
Our middle child, my brother, was just the ultimate middle child,
Really?
as much as you can imagine it. And then it turned out that I was the ultimate baby. So
Aw.
I'm mama's favorite. I get anything and everything I want, apparently.
I bet you do. And how many years difference between?
So the oldest is 8 years older than me, and then the middle child is 6 years older than me. So there's a big difference.
Yes. Every one of my children are 6 years apart.
Really?
3 children, and they're all 6 years apart.
Wow.
I know it. It took me longer to forget what that felt like, so I was putting it off till 6 years. No, for 6 years. Anyway, so I think we've covered just about everything in the globe.
Facet of life,
And so,
except for
the movies.
The movies.
Yes, the movies are starting. Because what we want to do now is to entertain ourselves through this weekend and enjoy yourself through this weekend. And that's what's going to happen on, let's see, it starts on Thursday night now. That's what's so cool, that you can go to the movies on Thursday night. And you can beat the crowd and get all that done. But I think a lot of people, even though you got Netflix and you've got homes that have beautiful theater-looking, places in them, spaces in them, still want to go and be with the people. Mm-hmm. And they want to hear the munch of popcorn around their, around where they're sitting, and the smell of popcorn popping, and people's reaction, because you enjoy it more when other people are laughing, and all that. Now, Sam would never go to the show if it wasn't for me. He wouldn't do it because he can't stand being around people.
Around people or around you?
No, because he would sit at home and watch a movie with me, but not go out.
He can tune you out a little more there, I think.
I think he can too. But one thing about Sam, going to the movie with Sam, he does get aggravated with people that are just around you and teenagers. And we would go like on a Friday night, and that's when every teenager in the world would go to the movies. And these 2 kids were sitting in front of us, and they were talking, and just they had their cell phones on, everything. They were just making a big ruckus, and it was ridiculous. I can't stand it either. I would have spoken to them. But Sam leans down in his, the gangsta way that he can look and the way that he can talk to people. And he says, you're going to be paying for my ticket. I spent this much money. You keep this up, you're going to be paying for my ticket. You understand me? And they turned around, looked at me, and they sat back down and were quiet for the rest of the thing. In fact, they got up and moved. But so I was always embarrassed because my mother would say things to people that were doing wrong. And I have taken on, and she still channeled through me, because if somebody does something, I'll tell them. I'll say, you get up and move, or you tell your child to quit kicking me in the back of the seat, and that kind of thing. I won't go tell a mother, can you take that crying baby out? I won't do that. But for kids,
but I think that's just as rude as anything else. I mean, why?
It is, but
why are you going to sit there with a crying baby when you know that baby's crying? Go out in the hall and soothe that baby.
Okay, but here's the deal: that mom's about to snap, and I don't want to be the one to put her over the edge, and she looks at me, and or the dad or anything else, unless we have it, the family, and I'm coming up and telling them what to do with their kid. No, don't do that. But I'll go tell the manager. Could you tell the kid? I'll do something like that. And in a restaurant and things like that.
It's different on a plane or
Or you're
because you're trapped.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere. But at a restaurant or a movie theater, no, you take that baby outside until that baby stops crying, then you can come back in. That is the rule.
Yeah, and that's real old school because that's what we would all do. We'd have to take the kids out, and they knew if they were going outside the restaurant,
They were in trouble.
They cried all the way
I can't tell
out.
you how many times I got a smacking for, I had to get pulled out into the hallway or into the bathroom, and then I get a spanking for misbehaving in a restaurant or a movie theater.
Well, it's so funny that we're talking about this before we talk about the movies, is because of on the radio today they were doing this big thing about kids not having any kind of discipline, and nowadays they don't have the discipline. Parents want to be the friends, and parents won't tell them what they need to do and give them any kind of consequences for their bad actions and things like that. And so when you hear about someone like yourself, who your parents have really, stayed with that, and that's good.
My parents used, spanking so they used a physical form of discipline.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you have to do that. There's no rule that says every kid must be physically disciplined. No. Sometimes there's other ways that work better for other kids. For me,
True.
A spanking worked the best because I corrected the actions better than if you had just put me in timeout, because timeout wasn't really a penalty to me.
Well, I know. Like once my dad had whipped me with the belt, all he had to do then after that was take the belt and put it and pop it, and then that would be. Thank you very much. I just need that trigger. Thank you. That's all. Thank you very much. I'll do whatever you say.
You brought back every deep dark memory that I've suppressed. Thank you. I will not do anything wrong.
I won't. I promise. No, I was a golden child. But anyway, okay. So let's talk about the movies because we're going to. Now you just gave me the 2-minute warning. Okay.
We may have to wait for the movies.
Well,
we can take our break now if you want, and then we can come back and have longer to fully talk about the movies. You want to do that?
Yeah, people probably need a break
clap,
from us.
Clap if you want to do that.
Look.
I can hear him from here.
Look at the meter. Look at the meter go. Okay. Dennis said it's okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dennis.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. We're going to get into the movies and what's coming out. Wow. There's one that I cannot wait to see, and one that I saw that I'll have to tell you about because it's all about underwear. Okay. All right. We'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show, sponsored by the Wooten Financial Group. See you in a few.
Every week I get asked the same 2 questions. Am I ready to retire? Will my savings last for our lifetime? Hi, this is Chris Wooten with Wooten Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. If these 2 questions are on your mind, we'd like to help. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know you and includes a few meetings for you to kick the tires at no charge. We'll provide you with a 1-page summary that helps you get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for you. To take the first step to a clear direction for your retirement, call Wooten Financial at 936-449-5952. That's 936-449-5952. Or visit us on the web at wootenfinancial.com. That's WOOTTON financial.com. Get started today.
Hello. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. Yes, you are. And we're back. And we are going to be talking about the movies. And if you didn't know what you wanted to do this weekend, these are some of the movies that are out. But you may want to, especially around this area, want to just stand outside and feel dry. That's, because you start thinking, is it ever going to stop raining?
Go enjoy the lake.
Silly. Yeah, lake is full, for sure.
That's for sure.
It is full. So you guys, you live on a lake.
Lake Livingston, not Conroe, Lake Livingston.
Okay. Is Lake Livingston browner than Conroe, or is it about the same color?
It's about the same. There's better fishing on Livingston. And I don't know. Is Conroe fed by a river? I don't think so, right?
I have no idea.
I don't think so. I think it's standalone. The Lake Livingston is fed by the Trinity River, though.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, we get a lot of moving water.
Well, what? I need to ask that question. I have no idea. We're like 3 minutes from Lake Conroe.
Yeah,
where
literally.
We live. So we're like
literally.
We're there, and so I thought this is going to be so cool. We're living. We're like 3 minutes to Lake Conroe. There's Huntsville's 10 minutes away, and Conroe's 10 minutes. Like, that's so great. We never go to the lake. We've never been on that lake. We haven't been on that lake.
Do y'all have a boat?
No, we didn't get a boat because we already had a boat when we first got married. We had a boat, and he went through the boat stage, and that was it. Because it was always. Well, I have pictures of us on a lake, and he and his friend leaning over the engine, fixing it, and their wives, this girl and I, were sitting there with a look on our face like, this is what we usually end up being, is because they got a real high performance boat, and so those things, crash all the time.
You know what the greatest day in a boat owner's life is?
When?
The day he gets rid of it.
The day, I'm telling you, that is exactly right. That is exactly right.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. We got Nathan outside wearing his funky hat. It must be Friday. It must be Friday.
You sure don't want to miss Nathan in the Montgomery County lifestyle. And what he has on today, probably depicts what his lifestyle is.
So this underwear.
Okay, so.
What a movie about underwear? Does the underwear talk?
Yes, and I was totally confused and misled by Captain Underpants. So here I am, going to the movie thinking this is going to be some sexual 50 Shades of No, it's a cartoon, and the kids love it. And so many kids have read these books in school, and Samuel knew all about the...
I read these books in school. This was my reading level when I was in, 10th grade. So.
In 10th grade. So, was Wimpy Kid out when you were?
No, that was past. That was post Jake.
Okay.
In grade school.
Okay. I love Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I love those movies.
I never saw any of the movies either.
Oh man. Well, now the kid that was a Wimpy Kid and his brother and the family all grew up, and now they have a new family in there, and they're not the same. It's not the same, but I love Wimpy Kid, and it did make the kids read because you had some illustrations in it. And the Captain Underpants, I guess, is the same thing because the kids love it. And so we went to go see Captain Underpants, and so from a 4-year-old to a 12-year-old, they were glued to the movie. They loved it. No one asked for more popcorn or candy or anything like that. It was just there. It was, and so and plus, my oldest daughter, who's a teacher of 7th graders, and she said they all loved it. So she wanted to go see it as well, and it was so good because finally a movie comes out that everybody has read and all that, and they stayed with that. They didn't take Captain Underpants to the planet Pluto and try and start a school there or something like that. That's out of the realm of what these kids want to see what goes on in school and laugh about all the bad things and the principal that's crazy and after him. And
well, it's like adults who go see comedy shows and they're like, oh, it's so funny because it's true. It's the same situation. They're experiencing what this Captain Underpants is experiencing right now.
And the release is that the kids with imagination, they can take them where they want to go in that sense of what they would do to the principal if they could. And so this is what
if they could.
Yeah, if they could. And
I tried once.
Oh, I think we have a mooning story coming up.
Oh, no. That's another story. No, that's a different story altogether.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's that type. Is it shocking? Would it shock me?
It might shock you, but we may have to save it for another time. Okay. I want to get to these movies.
We want to get to, Okay.
The Mummy.
The Mummy is what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I never got to see The Fate of the Furious. That's what I wanted to see too. Sam didn't want to go see that. So I've got catching up to do. Is The Fate of the Furious is out, right? I don't see it.
No. I think it's officially done. At least at this movie theater I'm looking at, it's done. So
okay, now and the only thing we can tell you about the Mummy looks to me so good. I like that kind of stuff.
And I think when it first released that they were coming out with this, people were questioning whether this was a good move by the franchise that owns the Mummy and all that stuff.
Right.
But as more trailers and more commercials have come out, I think the popularity of this has just grown to such a level that I am truly shocked by this because I think this is going to be a terrible movie.
Oh, you do? Okay, all right.
I'm going to go see it, but I have no faith in it at all.
Well, you coming in with a horrible attitude. You're not going to enjoy it.
No,
Hope
I'll
the
go in with a
popcorn's
blank
good.
slate. I'll go in with a blank slate. I'll go with an open mind.
You will?
But I'm just, if I had to go put my money on it, in Vegas, I'd say it's gonna, fall short of expectations.
The way the movies cost right now and all the stuff, I would make sure I was going to like it and I was going to have a good time there. I'd go in, like if the popcorn is good, the butter is fresh, or the butter
It's
flavoring
real.
is fresh. But see, I'm telling you, if you'll do this, just do this. Do you go to the Woodlands Theater? Where do you go?
Yeah, the Woodlands one.
Okay. All right.
Well, I guess it depends on where I am. If I'm in Katy, I go to the Katy one. If I'm in Woodlands, I go in the Woodlands one. If I'm in Conroe, I go to the Grand. So.
No loyalty. Okay, so if you'll go to the one in the Woodlands and go by Landry's and tell them, could I please have some drawn butter, and I'll pay for it. And they go like, well, we'll just give it to you, no charge for it. Anyway, they give you the drawn butter. It looks like a urine specimen, but it's okay. You put it in your pocket and you go in and order the popcorn. I'm telling you, if you will pour that over the popcorn when you sit down in your seat and you start eating that.
What happens if it spills in my pocket?
Well,
Then I look like a freak with butter-covered pockets, not popcorn.
no, you won't spill it. You'll just hold it in your, anyway. But it does look like a urine specimen. It's really funny. So anyway, so you go in there and do that. I promise you, you will never go back to that.
Well, and so going
butter-flavored
into
junk.
things with an open mind, I went and saw Wonder Woman first night, the Thursday night early release, and I expected it to be bad because of every DC comic movie that has come out has been subpar. This is probably one of their better ones, and not because of all the pretty ladies, who could take me out with a single look, but it was an actual good movie. It was well done.
For the articles. That were really good.
Yes,
substantive.
exactly. Now, it wasn't the greatest movie ever. I wouldn't give it, a 10 out of a 10, but it was better than what my expectations were, and I think
That's
what
good.
everybody's were. So
No, Chad went and saw it.
Oh,
with his
really?
buddy. He went and saw it with his buddy. And Sabrina, his wife, wanted to see it. They all come from that same age in that era. And he didn't get to, and something happened where he had to leave early, so he didn't get to see the end of it, so he's going to take her to go see it again. But he said it was good. He thought it was good, and he doesn't like anything. So that was good. Now, what's come out tonight, what's new, is It Comes at Night. It's a horror suspense thriller.
At night.
Yeah, and if you look at the pictures, it's rated R, and I think there's a reason for that. I think, well, the pictures start off with these two. You can tell that they're not fully clothed, and they're embraced, and so that's kind of leads you down one pathway of what it's about, and then they have a very zombie-looking guy, and so I don't know. That's you're gonna take your chance with your money. If you got $50 to, maybe you go in there, you buy your tickets and your popcorn and all that, go in there, and 15 minutes in, you go like, this isn't getting it for me. So you go see The Mummy. Anyway, and then Megan Levy is one that's about the dog. She's in.
Yeah.
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 And so those kind of shows, personally, I can't stand to see horror movies. That's reality to me. I don't want to.
And I don't want to watch reality. Like everybody loved Manchester by the Sea. Yes, from a critic standpoint, it was beautifully shot. The camera work, the lighting, all that. From the fundamental standpoint.
Right.
But I don't want to be depressed leaving a movie. I was so sad, and it was too real.
No,
I want some fakeness in my movies.
Totally agree. So speaking of that, Baywatch. We'll be right back.
No, this is our last segment.
No, it's not. It's not over.
Yes, it is. This is it. Quick synopsis of Baywatch.
Baywatch.
It was worth it to go see it in the movie theater just because I like movie theaters. But if you don't want to spend the $10, I would just wait till it comes out on Redbox or something.
Yes.
And it was good.
And then you
6
can
out of 10.
rewind it. Okay.
6 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. So everything's fun, and Pirates of the Caribbean are still in. Guys, go have fun. Go eat some popcorn with real butter on it, and enjoy your weekend. And we will be back here
Monday
next week. So, guys, we'll see you. Please have a great weekend. Thank you, Wooten Financial Group, for making this possible. See ya.
This program is sponsored by the Wooten Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wooten Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wooten Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wooten Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wooten Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wooten Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
Hi, this is Cindy Cochran, and I want to thank you for checking out The Cindy Cochran Show and invite you to listen live every weekday morning from 10 to 11 on FM 106.1 and on 104.5 and globally on irlonestar.com. The show you just fell in love with was recorded and will be posted on our podcast channels on iTunes and Google Play. You can even watch the show on our YouTube and on TV with our City TV Channel 12 on Suddenlink. So make sure to subscribe to keep up with me. My Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show, is always a good place to contact me through messages, to interact live on the air and ask questions, make suggestions, whatever. Special shout out to the show title sponsor, the Wooten Financial Group.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.